However, there were many well-known dignitaries in the platform party there. Once we were on stage, I was seated on one side of the podium between Vice President Biden and Senator Schumer of New York, while the president was seated on the other side of the lectern between his wife and Senator Sessions of Alabama. Before my speech, Bible readings and inspirational comments were made by a variety of people. I was introduced, followed by a very generous applause, and began my speech by reading several Bible verses that seemed particularly applicable to the leadership in Washington, D.C. today. The text of the speech follows. Thank you so much, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mrs. Obama, and distinguished guests, which includes everybody. Thank you so much for this wonderful honor to be at this stage again. I was here 16 years ago, and the fact that they invited me back means that I didn't offend too many people, so that was great. I want to start by reading 4 texts which will put into context what I'm going to say. Proverbs 11:9. Evil words destroy one's friends. Wise discernment rescues the godly. Proverbs 11:12. It is foolish to belittle a neighbor. A person with good sense remains silent. Proverbs 11:25. The generous prosper and are satisfied. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. 2 Chronicles 7:14. Then if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land. You know, I have an opportunity to speak in a lot of venues. This is my 4th speech this week, and I have an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And I've been asking people what concerns you. What are you most concerned about in terms of the spirituality and the direction of our nation and our world? I've talked to very prominent Democrats, very prominent Republicans, and I was surprised by the uniformity of their answers. And those answers have informed my comments this morning. Now, it's not my intention to offend anyone. I've discovered, however, in recent years that it's very difficult to speak to a large group of people these days and not offend someone. People walk around with their feelings on their shoulders waiting for you to say something. Ah, did you hear that? And they can't hear anything else you say. The PC police are out in force at all times. I remember once I was talking to a group about the difference between a human brain and a dog's brain, and a man got offended. He said, "You can't talk about dogs like that." People just focus in on that, completely miss the point of what you're saying. And we've reached the point where people are afraid to actually talk about what they want to say because somebody might be offended. People are afraid to say Merry Christmas at Christmas time. Doesn't matter whether the person you're talking to is Jewish or, whether they're any religion. That's a salutation, a greeting of goodwill. We've got to get over this sensitivity. It keeps people from saying what they really believe. I'm reminded of a very successful young businessman, and he loved to buy his mother these exotic gifts for Mother's Day. One year, he ran out of ideas, and then he ran across these birds. These birds were cool, They cost $5,000 apiece. They could dance, they could sing, they could talk. He was so excited, he bought 2 of them, sent them to his mother, couldn't wait to call her up on Mother's Day. Mother, what'd you think of those birds? And she said, "They was good." He said, No, Mother, you didn't eat those birds. Those birds cost $5,000 apiece. They could dance, they could sing, they could talk. And she said, "Well, they should have said something." And that's where we'll end up too, if we don't speak up for what we believe. And what we need to do? What we need to do in this PC world is forget about unanimity of speech and unanimity of thought, and we need to concentrate on being respectful to those people.